Made some more adjustments, made sure the perspective is fine. And now I'm going to go and start adding some of the details. So why acrylic? Acrylic to me is ideal because you can get the texture of oil without all the mess and the smell of oil. You don't have to have the ventilation that you need with oil. So it's ideal. It's quick drying, like watercolors. You can make it look like a watercolor, or you can make it thick like oil. So it's versatile. And if you need it to not dry quickly, they have what's called retardants, and you can add that to the paint and it won't dry as quickly, which is good for portraits. If you're doing portraits, you need it to not dry so fast. So it's really an ideal medium. I recommend it highly. I know a lot of teachers require that you do oil first, and that's fine. My teacher did too when I studied at Grand Canyon back in the day when it was Grand Canyon College. I had a teacher who insisted that we learn to stretch our own canvas, which we did. Being a starving artist, it was not easy to afford all those art supplies. So when I would paint oil paints, it would be on canvas that I made myself, which is a skill I think every artist should have. But when I went back to school, to ASU, I had a wonderful teacher who didn't care what we painted on, because he himself knew what it was like to be a starving artist. He was from Cuba, Leandro Soto. He's from Cuba, and so he understood what starving artists went through. He himself would paint on anything: furniture, walls, canvas, paper, anything. So he taught us to really not to be so stressed about the materials, but to stress more about the quality of your painting. So I loved Leandro. He was amazing. Very good teacher. Very inspirational. So as you can imagine, all of us starving artists were thrilled that our teacher didn't care if we did a painting using acrylic on poster board or foam core. He just wanted us to be as creative as we possibly could be. So I learned a lot from that man. Very, very grateful to him. He had an amazing story that I'll have to share in another video. But anyway, so that's why I like acrylic. It's cheap, which means I can paint more often. It's fast drying, which means I can paint faster. And I like foam core for the reasons I said before. It's cheap, available, and ideal. So make sure you make it easy on yourself. You don't have to paint on expensive materials all the time. Now, I'm doing these for free, but if I were doing commissioned work, I would definitely want to use more expensive materials that would last longer for my client. So yeah, you don't always have to stress out about the materials that you're using. Be thrifty if you need to be. Just paint. Because if you're going to stress out about the materials, I'd say 9 out of 10 times you're going to talk yourself out of painting. And that's never a good thing. So don't hinder yourself. Make it easy on yourself and get the painting done. I recommend giving away a lot of your art. I know it sounds crazy, but it really does bring joy to a lot of people. So, but I have, charged before, and I'm sure I'll do it again. Alright, so now I'm going to start getting into the tight details, so I'm just going to do time-lapse for that. But I appreciate you joining me for a little bit of instruction. I hope you have a general idea of what it takes to create one of these paintings, that it's okay to step back and make adjustments as needed. It's okay to start over if you need to. It's your painting, it's your time, so don't stress. Use it as a way to relax. And I'll see you next time.